Alright, morning everybody. It is a beautiful day out here in southwest Missouri for January 6th. It's only 10 o'clock and it's over 60 degrees right now. So we're going to be working on a Farmall H today, but not this Farmall H. This is my M&W 9-speed Farmall H. This tractor, it's always had a problem where it shifts into the gears. The low side has always just been all neutrals. I had the top plate off at one point while it was outside. Couldn't see anything obvious and put it back together. We've got a shop going up here soon, so when that's done, probably early spring, I'll get this brought in there and pull the top cover off of it again. But Monday night, I brought in a second 9-speed H up to my other friend's shop, and we're gonna try and get it going today. I got it running off some brake clean the other night, but it's got the wrong battery cables on it. The gas tank's pretty nasty. This one, the carb needs rebuilt because the other day it started flooding out, and come to find out the float's full of fuel. So I might just take the good float out of the carb on the other one and put it into the carb off of this one and stick it on there. That other tank's pretty nasty. It's been sitting with the cap off for quite some time. So I think I'll probably pull this gas tank, pull my battery cables, and I've already got the carb off of this one in the toolbox of the truck. And then I think that should be all we need, but we're gonna pull a few things off here and then hit the road and see if we can get this other one running and driving today. All right, guys, here's the other H. Got a little ahead of myself and started working on it some, but not much has happened. Just put those battery cables on it. Couldn't get the fuel tank off my other one. I thought I'd pulled that tank off before. It must have been a different tractor because that one did not want to come off. So we're gonna have to make this one work. And it had the cap off when I bought it. You guys probably won't be able to see well, but it's rust up all the sides and molasses down at the bottom. We have to go get some oil because that's after just a few seconds of run time. This oil pressure gauge is, I think the line's broken, hopefully, and I'll just get a bolt and cap off that hole for now, because I know it's got pressure. Let's look this thing over some. If I remember right, when I looked it up, it was a 51 or 52. I think it was a 51. And it's got some kind of neat stuff on it. So let's see. Here's the hood. And it has got Mineral Point, Wisconsin on this last dealer sticker. It had some vehicle and truck peddler. So between that sticker and some of the stuff on this tractor, I've pretty well concluded that it come off a dairy farm originally. So main reason I wanted it, we got an M&W 9-speed just like my other one. I haven't played around with it a whole lot, but I think we'll be able to get it shift. And hopefully it works, unlike my other ones. My other one shifts, but like I said, it has all neutrals on the low side. It actually wouldn't bother me too much if it had all neutrals on the high side, but being nothing works on the low side, my PTO speed is wound up way faster than it should be, and all my gears are way higher than they should be, and I don't have the standard gears. We got wheel weights with it, M&W 9-speed, M&W friction throttle. It's not the international one, so just like my other one. And then I think that's most of it for this side. We have mounted picker hubs, which are pretty uncommon around here, and we've been talking about wanting to find a picker and do some corn picking this upcoming summer, so good to have those now. Got a tongue for backing wagons. And then right here, we've got an old ball valve. This would be so you could hook up and run a vacuum milker on a dairy, so that's pretty neat. I don't have any with that on them yet, so that's pretty different and neat. And then I think that's about it. But kind of a whole mess of oddball, neat stuff. It's gonna need rubber. No 3-point. I'll probably keep it this way. I've got a 3-point. I can pull off my other one if I decide to. And then I've got a Super M outside, that wide front one that's been in other videos, and I still might build it and turn it into a puller, but I'm pretty sure the M&W pump and everything off of it will fit onto this tractor, and I think the Christmas tree valve and everything will fit. If that one has a Christmas tree valve, I can't remember. I think it's got the high-low switch, or directional flow switch. So I might take all of that fancy M&W hydraulic stuff off of that tractor and fit it to this one, since it's already kind of highly optioned. Not super highly optioned, but it's got some of the rare stuff. Now as far as damage, the torque tube on both sides has been busted and welded. I'll show you the other side too. Looks like they've done a good job of fixing it, so I'm probably gonna leave it, but that could become an issue in the future. I'm guessing if they had a picker on this thing, that's probably what caused that, and also what caused them to weld the frame rails to the front bolster. So if I ever swap the frame rails out, I'll have to get a whole new bolster assembly. Likewise, if I decide to swap the bolster because the steering's really wore out, I'll have to get frame rails for it. They busted this one off. Looks like that one's busted. Then they welded to both of these. Same deal over here. These guys are busted off. These ones are welded too, and the frame rail's welded to the tractor. I don't know if you need those to mount a picker. I need to look into it. If you do, I will probably get a whole new bolster and frame rails for it. But unless that's the case, I'm probably going to leave it for now, because this tractor may get paint in the future, but it's not going to get restored. It's going to get shined up a little bit and used. So I am working on pulling the carb off right now, because looking in the tank, I need to go through it. I don't know if I've never noticed it, or if all the ones I've had didn't have it, but it's got a nice little oiler there for the governor shaft. So I need to look and see if that's something that's on my other carb. It's in the back of the truck, so I'll go grab it in a minute. But that's kind of neat too, if that's something that's not usually on them. So yeah, let me get this carb off and we'll get it apart and see what it looks like inside. All right guys, we got the carb off. I've never had carburetor screws that stuck in my life. I thought for a second I was gonna have to cut the heads off and drill them out, but they come out somehow. I didn't strip them, so we're gonna see. I don't know if I can get this to break loose here. One-handed. I think I'll do this off camera and then we'll split it, see what it looks like. Well, that was very tight. You can see I had to pull out the arsenal. The choke butterfly screw fell out while I was doing that, but it don't look stripped, so we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be good. A lot of stuff fell out of it here. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, given this gas, I can do two things here. We can take some silicone and seal this up good enough and clean it up best we can. Or what I'm more likely to do is take this float and go stick it in my other carburetor that I brought. It's already clean, and just use that for now. So I haven't decided. I'm gonna go grab it, compare some, and see what I want to do about this. Okay, we got old carb on the right and my other carb here on the left. So you can see this neck has been broke off in mine for a long time, but it's never caused any problems. You can hear, if you're used to what those sound like empty, you can tell that's full of fuel, like full to the top. This one's dry, obviously, because it hasn't been in any fuel for however many years, so Hopefully it'll seal up. I think what I'm just gonna do, you can see this other gasket I've got. It's not great. It's broken. It looks like I've done some silicone on it before. I think I'm gonna re-silicone it. Take this float and put it on my old carb body off that other H and try and use this. I think it's gonna be a lot easier for right now, and I'll order a rebuild kit for this one. Probably both of them so I can get a float. But yeah, I was right. This one does not have that oiler flap right there like this other one does. I don't know if it's just because this one's newer. It's probably all it is, but kind of different. I hadn't seen one of those before, so we're gonna get this float off. Hopefully, it's pretty crusty, and get it swapped over to this one, silicone it up. I think we're gonna go ahead and throw it on there, and I'll put this one in the drawer later for when I get a rebuild kit. All right, guys, we just got the fuel bowl off, and it's pretty nasty. That was plugged up, and I'm working on freeing it up. That's plugged. I don't know what this stuff is on here, if it's just build up from water being in here on the aluminum or what, but we're gonna get it cleaned up, get some fuel flowing through it, and hopefully we can keep the tank from plugging this hole up. I might try and find a piece of something to make a standpipe. Since the tank's so filthy, might keep it from getting plugged, but we'll see. Let me get this cleaned out and we'll catch back up. Carb is on. We got a little standpipe siliconed here in the top of this filter, so once that sets up a little bit, I'll get that screwed back in, and hopefully that'll keep the trash out of there for the most part. We got it mostly cleaned up. Everything's flowing through there now, so I need to go. I've got this battery, but it's too big for the box on this one, and I've got another battery that cracked the other day, so I need to go take it and core exchange it and get a battery for this thing. And then by that point, that should be dried enough to stick it back in there. Hopefully we can put fuel in it and try to test start this thing and maybe drive it around a little bit. So I'll catch back up with you guys when I've gotten the battery, and I think I might get some oil for it too. We're back from O'Reilly's. Got me some oil. They only had 30 weight in 1 quarts, so I got 6 of them. And there's a battery. So since we left off, pulled the oil pressure line off, just plugged it. That's a brass plug out of a carburetor that was already stripped, so hopefully it stays in there and don't shoot back out, but that'll hold for now. I couldn't see anywhere that the line was broke. I mean, it's all wet, this whole side is. It may have just been spraying out of here, but it wasn't like super loose when I went to take it off. And I'm about to put fresh oil in it, so I don't want to deal with dumping all my oil back out on the ground like you can see it done last night with the old oil. So carburetor's on, fuel bowl's on. Here in a minute I'm going to put some fuel in it. Better move these out of the way. But yep, we're going to get some oil in it, get some fuel in it, put this battery in it, and catch back up with you. Hopefully we can get some fuel to the carburetor and get some noise out of it and maybe drive it. Okay, we've got oil in it. I think we've got everything else patched up. Got our battery in it. Got some oil in the oil bath. It was just full of junk, but it was all dry. So I think we're ready to see if she'll fire up. Got some gas in it, so let's see what happens. Got some blow by. Looks like our little plug is holding. I can't tell for sure. I don't think it's running on all the cylinders right now. It sounds like it's down on power. Idling now. Well, it does not have the power it should. And I think it's down on some cylinders. So I'm going to move to pulling the valve cover, and we're going to see if it has some bent push rods and stuck valves and whatnot. Because I took it down the driveway and I can hear the exhaust popping randomly, like it's trying to fire on cylinders that aren't getting any compression. So let's pull this valve cover off real quick. It's not real warm, and we'll see what it looks like inside. Probably safe to say it's got some blow by. I didn't run it real long and it's just steaming out of there, but we'll get this other one out here and see what this valve train looks like. I'm hoping it's just got some bent push rods I can bend back and the valves aren't stuck too bad, and we can pick up some cylinders. If it's not that, I'll move on to spark plugs, and if that don't do it, then the motor needs to come apart. But we're going to start here. Well, that wasn't promising. Took the valve cover off, forgot to have the camera out, but everything's fine in there. It's very crummy looking inside the valve cover, not rust, just old oil and caked on gunk, like an engine that has a lot of blow by. So that's all fine. They all move, nothing looks bent. Took all the spark plugs out. They were dirty, but they look fine, which, contrary to popular belief, is bad, because that means our running issue is somewhere else. Either the motor's a lot more wore out than I thought, it's only got enough compression to run on 2 cylinders, or there's 2 more things I got left to try. I'm going to loosen up these clamps on either side of the distributor and try timing it by ear. I don't recommend you time one of these by ear unless you want it to run poorly. I'm good at it because I have a lot of experience making these run poorly in the past, and I've gotten to where I've kind of figured it out. So I'm going to time it by ear, see if it gets better, see if it gets worse. The only other possibility is I've got the carb too rich, but it's not really smoking like it's rich. It's got a haze to it, like the motor's wore out, which is expected because when I had this hose off, it's got a crank casement that goes back into the intake, and it was just smoke stacking out of here the other day. So I know the blow-by is pretty bad. It's probably going to smoke some. So I don't think it's rich. It doesn't run like it's rich. It runs like there's 2 cylinders not firing. So we're going to attempt timing. Maybe if it's really out of time and it's got 2 cylinders that are pretty low compression, that's why they're not hitting. So we're going to try that, see where that takes us. If that's not it, it'll be a project for another day. But let me get the phone set up, get these loosened up, start it, and we will see if it makes a difference. Interesting. Not good. Carb's not flooded out. What are we doing? pretty good. So I guess I'll pull the distributor cap off, root around in there. I had it off the other night and it looks brand new, but I mean, everything looks pretty fresh on the distributor. So I don't know if someone was fighting with this before, what the deal was. Kind of what I'm leaning towards now. But it's all very clean, fresh metal, so I don't know. I'll look around in here some, maybe clean the points again, see what we get out of it. Might try gapping the points, that's another possibility. Don't really explain why it's only running on some of the cylinders, but kind of running out of options on that, so we'll see. Let me get this torn down and root around in there, and we'll catch back up with you if I find something. Well, I've done some investigating and I can't find nothing out, so I think my conclusion is it's just a tired old dairy farm tractor, so it'll probably get the motor done here soon. Only other things it could be is a cracked head or blown head gasket at this point, so I'll make sure the rear end's good on this one. Probably end up putting a motor in it, and I'm thinking about taking some of them hydraulics off that other Super M I have, and maybe kind of option this thing out a little bit. But that's all we're gonna have for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll try and keep them coming as time allows, but we'll just have to see what happens. So, see you around.